Gasoline Rainbow is the new movie by the Ross brothers. I saw their 2020 outing, Bloody Nose, Empty Pockets, and they seem to have a really big filmography. But unfortunately, my impression of Bloody Nose, Empty Pockets wasn't the best. It just really wasn't a movie for me. It felt like a closeted documentary. The directors seem intelligent, and when it comes to the process that they have, very original and different. That being said, there's things I really like about Gasoline Rainbow, but as a whole, it's not quite all together for me. This movie's about a bunch of high school seniors who live in Wiley, Oregon, that decide to take a big road trip all the way to Portland and to the coast. These kids seemingly have never left the boundaries that they have grown up in. We get the constant refrains from these kids that this is their last hurrah before they start going to college and get jobs and live somewhat of an adult life. The lust for a new setting and the adolescent energy here, it reminded me a lot of like a Larry Clark movie, and its road trip element, Americana vibe, also kind of reminded me of Andrea Arnold's American Honey. But Gasoline Rainbow has a way more contemporary value to it. These teenagers are clearly out of 2024. While social media isn't really addressed on this movie, they claim that the cell phone reception is bad. They do pull out their phone whenever they see a cool thing. Zoomer language is also peppered in here. We hear the word dead every 15 minutes or so. And its presentation is really cool. I feel they've used a lot of different formats of cameras here. I really liked how they switched into a still photo sometimes, or film, or the iPhone camera lens. Each of the kids have little voiceovers as well, where they refrain things like, oh, I want to be realized, I don't want to keep living in this part of town anymore. So off the bat, I was interested in what this movie had to offer, but as the movie continues, it really does start to lose steam, and it doesn't help that each of these characters that are presented are more thin than the walls in my apartment. Really, they don't progress at all throughout this movie. They love each other in the beginning, they love each other at the end. There is no drama here. According to the directors, they did want something a little more complicated, but with the cast that they had, they wanted something more joyous. And I greatly respect that. I think that it says a lot about the current youth, but I think for 108 minutes, it grows so thin. At like 80 minutes, they could have had a tight and interesting portrait of modern youth. There's like a scene where one of the guys is having some sort of a breakdown to another adult. The adult says the difference between children and adults are that adults are unsupervised, and the kid starts crying about his family and some other thing. I'm having a hard time remembering all of this because all I thought was, who cares? Like, I don't even know what this kid is named. Like, and I feel that way about all of these kids here. Don't really know anything about them other than they went on this very special and cathartic trip. No doubt. But yeah, while I like the presentation of this movie and how it really transports you to Portland and all throughout Oregon, the immersion is great, but after like 30 minutes, I really just could care less, especially since no real consequences happen on here. Stuff happens to the van that they use, and good lord, no spoilers here obviously, but what's up with that? Like, as somebody who has experienced road trips like these, the age that these kids were, I was hoping to see maybe some sort of pitfall or argument or a means to an end. So Gasoline Rainbow, I would give this movie a 6.7. It is playing in select theaters now, and it will be streaming off Mubi on May 30th. Thank you so much for watching.